Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world, wherever you are lending me your attention from. Greetings and salutations, and thank you for being here. For me, it is like 10:07 in the morning, and it is Friday, December 5th. So these are morning devotionals for me. But wherever you are, these could just be your daily devotionals. And I'm going to continue the discussion of the higher self and continue to talk about and reinforce reasons to maintain this relationship, to strengthen this relationship, um, and kind of attend to it regularly. This week, I talked about return to sender prayers during higher self devotionals, attracting good luck, protection from evil. Today, I'm going to talk about love. I mean, it's Friday for sure, so that's appropriate depending on what tradition you are in. Um, I am the first priest of the Corellian tradition, which is a tradition that was originated right here on the North American continent. That was a blending of ancestral traditions due to ethnic blending. So that's just like a brief history of where Corellianism comes from. It's an ethnic blending of two traditions that occurred here in the United States on the North American continent. Um, my predecessor and his predecessors before him were the ancestral carriers of this blended practice. And then, following a cardiac incident that occurred a few years ago, my predecessor handed over the tradition to myself and my tradition co-head, who is my sister from another mister, basically. Um, and so the discussion of the higher self is a component of our, we use the phrase outer court in our tradition. Those are the people who come and celebrate and practice and grow their magic and celebrate the holidays and participate in the culture, but they have no intentions on or are not called to initiate. Um, and then, we have our inner court, which is the people who are called to be initiated to some degree. The higher self discussion is a discussion for everyone, regardless of if they want to seek initiation or if they don't want to seek initiation, if they feel called or if they don't feel called. The higher self is that part of you that is here for your own benefit and your own benefit alone. I've been saying that all of the other spirits that we could be working with, whether they are gods, they are saints, they are tricksters, they're demons, they're ancestors, they're earthbound spirit, whatever they all have their own agenda, which if you can serve it and get a benefit out of it, all the better. And usually that's what ends up happening when you work with God and when you work with spirits and so on and so forth. Like you pray for stuff that is related to your ego. If it's in line with what their highest good is and what their agenda is, then you can have it. If it's not, then you likely will get an unanswered prayer. The higher self, however, that's for your own benefit and your own benefit alone. Your ancestors got to work on karma too. They are lovely spirits, and a lot of them are very, very elevated. And depending on how many times an ancestor has been incarnated, will determine like how great they are at being a guide. But they too have to work on their karma in all of their incarnations as well. So whether your ancestor was your favorite auntie or your favorite uncle or what have you, the fact that they incarnated as a human and have passed away means that they are working on karmic attachments. Your higher self is not working on karmic attachments. Your ego, our lower selves, those are our higher self only for our best good, and they have Our higher selves have a vested interest in us working on this karma. They have a vested interest in us achieving liberation, achieving enlightenment, re-entering that state of union with the divine mind and the divine creator. Our higher self is down for that for us. Whereas all of the other spirits that could possibly incarnate as human, they have that for themselves as well. So sure, it's great. We leave offerings to help our ancestors because us helping them means that when they are in the spirit world, they are being elevated, they are being lifted closer to the divine light of the creator, they are being impacted, they are being transformed. That way when they come back, they are all the more greater, all the more powerful, all the more capable of doing wonderful things in the physical incarnation. That's all of us too, though. So when we die, the ones that we leave behind, ideally, they are praying for us, uplifting us, elevating us, and we are having that elevated spiritual attunement while we are in the discarnate form. That way, when we come back, we are participating in a legacy of greatness, and so on and so forth, and so on and so forth, and so on and so forth. And in the midst of us elevating as ancestors, we become really good at helping our descendants. So specifically or wonderfully elevated ancestors might act as spirit guides once they've become elevated enough. Our ancestors, however, we petition them for help and for assistance with, the stuff that we want and we need. Sure, they might actually go ahead and come through and help us with it. A lot of times they will because they love us. They know what it's like to be human beings, and they know what it's like to be motivated by something externally. So sometimes, a lot of times, very frequently, our ancestors will bless us with the external motivation to help us do great. And still, that is only in service of their karmic attachments. Same thing with other spirit guides if they've ever been human. Our higher selves connect us to the utmost divine realm, where everything is for our benefit. And connecting to that while we are sitting right here in the physical allows us to use our soul's powers right here in this incarnation, doing the best that we can, living a legacy of greatness. That's how we work on our karma on purpose. We on purpose invite ourselves to experience and utilize and embody our soul's powers while we're here in the physical. And what we do with that power is going to be what contributes to our legacy. And a lot of times, it's what we do to impact communities and impact humanity that helps us with that karmic entanglement or those karmic attachments. Learning the lesson of collectivism over individualism is a lot of times what is going to be that thing that helps you elevate in the physical and helps you remain, someone who's being venerated or elevated once you pass away. Our higher selves is the most authentic, natural, easy way to make our magic stronger, work on our divine wills and our connection to our divine wills. It's our best way to engage in that magic and psychism loop. We project into the universe projects back. We project into the universe projects back. The universe sends us messages, we respond. The universe sends us messages, we respond, so on and so forth. Our higher selves is the most automatic, natural, intrinsic way to make that a strong part of who we are. That's why that's why the teachings in the Correllian tradition really support the maintenance of a higher self relationship. We don't have to have an initiation to do it. Everyone has a higher self because they were born. Go ahead and get you some. It's a powerful technique that will really help you, and it's good for your self-esteem, and it's good for you to organize your priorities as well. Very simple prayers to connect to your higher self. I've been using the same one since I started doing these broadcasts. I invoke my higher self. I connect with my higher self. I align with my higher self. I part the veil and unite with my higher self. We are united and complete, my higher self and I. I accept my soul's powers completely, and my oath is that I will use them in accordance with the laws of Ma'at, for law, order, justice, balance, harmony, and truth, and all of the things that Ma'at stands for the betterment of myself and for all of the creation. That's simple. Say it from your heart. Say the same thing from your heart. It becomes like a codified prayer. It becomes part of that muscle memory. Your voice, your mouth, your tongue, your lips, just go for it if you do the same prayer on a regular basis. And it might take a couple of times for you to like really access what it is you are wanting to do in this connection. Just make sure that all of the things that you say are affirmations. There aren't any negatives. I count united as a positive and undivided as a negative, even though the prefix is still UN. I don't know why I do that. That's a me thing. Everyone else might think that's a little bit different. Once you've said your prayer of invocation to your higher self, it might be appropriate for you to say some gratitudes. Today's Friday. It's been a great week. It's been a long week. Glad I made it to Friday. Glad I got to see some friends along the way. Glad I got some good news along the way. Um, there were some things that I was sad about, and I would like to send some healing energy in that direction. There were some things that made me feel a little bit angry and disheartened. I'd like to send some energy and healing in that direction. Maybe ask for some things that might be helpful. Maybe ask for some stability, some abundance and prosperity, some opportunities that will make things happen faster for you. The wisdom to know when an opportunity is presenting itself and how to use it fully and completely. After that set of prayers, it might be fun to charge your energetic body and create your energetic shield for yourself. Following the creation of your energetic shield. And if you want to, you can just toggle back into any of the other videos because I have done some energetic exercises and some shielding exercises previously. But if you want to, you can toggle back and see what some of those are. At least 3 of the videos I want to say are done in a way that you can just like follow them as a meditation if you wanted to. But specifically today, Friday, Venus, for a bunch of folks, Day of Love. I wanted to talk about the vast amounts of ways that you could understand love. And I did a little bit of research because I knew that the Greeks had at least 7 words and 7 concepts for love. And I wanted to learn about more of what the Egyptians had to say about love. Good morning, Reverend Ed. How you doing today? In the chat, thank you for reaching out. And so I found out that in the language that the ancient Egyptians, the Kemetic people spoke, they had affection, passion, the love that you feel from an embrace. So a hug, a good handshake. They had the love that was delightful. They had the kind of love that produced loyalty. They had heart-based attachment as a form of love. And if you remember, the Egyptians said that your heart was actually the seat of your soul. So a heart-based attachment or a soul-based attachment, I gather, is like how we talk about soulmates in, like our pop culture kind of psychology. They also had a kindness that was they have love that produces kindness. And then they had the kind of love that produces companionship or romantic relationships. And so if you add to that the idea of eros, philia, agape, storge, ludus, pragma, philautia, and mania, there are many, 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 many different ways for you to experience love across a vast spectrum. So without invoking any specific deities that are related to love, we can ourselves understand from our lower selves, from our ego, the various kinds of love that we have experienced with other people. You know, we got bros, we got sis, we got fam, and then we got those other kinds of love that are a little bit more passionate and physical in different ways. And then there's the kind that is obsessive and crazy and codependent. We've observed it, witnessed it, felt it all as individuals. So, with that being the case, I think that love in general, with the little luminous got the infinity symbol above it, is an easy energy to tap into to help the entire world elevate, uplift, shift up into, recognition of, other dimensions, all the stuff that magic is for. And so if you've ever felt romantic love, erotic love, passionate love, functional love, if you've ever, felt the love of a really good team that made really great things happen, if you were able to recognize the vast ways that love can impact us as people, then you can lift up your heart and pray earnestly for the betterment of the entire species, the entire planet. And that's a demonstration of that agape love, or the love for the all of creation that we believe that gods have for themselves. We believe that they love all of creation for the most part. And of course, we might be able to think about some divinities that may not demonstrate, or it might be hard to recognize that agape love in them. Um, but deeper mystical meditation on the role of chaos or the storm in helping rebuild and redemonstrate love might help us understand that, like, even the uncomfortable parts of breaking things down and tearing things down is a part of universal love too. So just think about that. Think about all the different ways that you have experienced love for different people, the ways that it can be transformative, the ways that it can be motivating, the things that it could, the ways that love could cause things to grow or change or shift, or vibrate higher. Tap into that energy and pray for the world. Of course, Corellians, we had our peace prayer for a long time, and I have done the peace prayer within the context of higher self inspirations before. I'll do it again now. I pray for peace. I pray for love. I pray for stability. I pray that love may overcome fear. And I send energy of love and peace for all of the people of the world. And I create it, I accept it, and I receive it by my will, so mote it be. So I do encourage everyone, whether you are in outer court, or an inner court, or if you are seeking a different path of transformation, um, if you're seeking a more diverse path of transformation, um, go ahead and connect with your higher self and explore where that leads you. That's it for today, folks. I love you lots.